welcome to Sports Talk Weekly, your number one sport podcast in the country. This is your review show where we'll do a roundup of the biggest sports events in the country. We'll be speaking about football, hockey, netball, as well as cycling. On the show today, we will be Jefta Gaoab. Welcome, Mr. Jefta.
Thank you for having me on your show.
How's it going?
It's on top of the world. We can't complain. Yeah.
So you see, I was as we came, I was like, okay, I've never met Jefta before. I've read some of his articles, and I know he's part of Touch and Go, and I'm like, how do I relate to this guy? And I thought back, and I'm like, back in my village, there used to be a team called Touch and Go, and then when I watch on TV, there's this team called Touch and Go, and I would talk to my brothers like, what team is this? Is there another Touch and Go on TV or what? So yeah. Thank you. Welcome.
On that note, we'll immediately go into football. We'll start with the Premier League. Last week we had a brief discussion about the marquee games, the Stars Pirates games, the Stars Tigers games, and the games in the coast of the live fighters visiting the coast. But what we noticed this weekend was that African Stars continued their dominance. Although they did not get maximum points, on Saturday they defeated Orlando Pirates. And then on Sunday, they got a draw against Tigers. So let's go into African Stars dominance immediately.
Yeah. Look, I have to give credit to. I mean, I was expecting Stars to win, like all doubt, and for Tigers to come up with a point against a team that's on form, an African Stars team that's on form. Before what we said about them with Kairi last week, I think I have to commend them. But still, African Stars look like they have a plan in place, and they look like they're sticking to that plan. And it looks like the plan is working for them very, very well. And it's going to be. They look like they're the team to beat now, for me.
Yeah, no, I will just echo your sentiments. Obviously, African Stars have got a very formidable team. And the title actually at this point in time is theirs to lose.
Yeah.
So taking nothing away from them, they really have a strong squad. But as we go along, there are also other teams that will mount the challenge. So you can never predict, So there will be full challenges.
For Pirates, I was of the opinion that I even said it on the show that Pirates will take points because on paper I felt Pirates could match Stars. I thought Pirates could match Stars, but looking at how Stars was, and everybody speaks about their strength. Do you really think, guys? Do you think they can go the whole season unbeaten? And for Pirates, they had a very good weekend the previous weekend in the coast, and then everything. You remember they lost both games. They also lost to young Brazilians on Sunday. What do you make of that?
Consistency. Keeping the consistency is the problem, but I believe with African Stars, you can excuse them a bit because African Stars are on form and they have a plan. But to lose the other team, the other game, I think that one was it speaks to the consistency because that's what you want as a coach. I'm sure Jefta will tell you for the confidence to keep building up, you need to have that consistency. It speaks to consistency. So there's no consistency there.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you because consistency is key. Yeah. And for Pirates, as alluded by my brother, on paper they are very strong. They have a very, very strong personnel. Yeah. And I think also going forward, Pirates is going to cause problems to other teams. Okay. And also looking at the other point of African Stars, is African Stars going to be invincible throughout the season? That is early to tell, despite the personnel that they have. But I believe that they will meet the challenges as we go.
But you like what they are doing though, in terms of other off the field stuff. They've been doing a lot of good social media marketing. Yes, they have. What is this? A press conference. I'm sure by Thursday, every Thursday they have a press conference. All of this stuff. What do you make of that?
You see, African Stars recently they have appointed the former coach as the technical director. That is a step in the right direction because they are trying to put into place structures, which is a good thing. I think more teams can emulate the example of African Stars. Yeah. So that is a good thing. So on and off the field, that is very well, because I remember we also partake in the African Stars tournament before the leagues actually started. That was played in Ochiwarango, where we also played African Stars. So this tells you how serious Stars are in terms of where they want to be. Because I'm quite sure where they are now, they probably want to also partake in the African Champions League, should they win the league and so on. So that tells you how serious they are. And that is a very good point. We must really applaud African Stars management for that, doing that consistently.
If we look at what transpired over the weekend, a team like Tigers, they picked up 4 points, but they are still fourth from the bottom. Yeah. What do you make of them? And you see, is it too early to say Stars can run away with the league? Is it too early to look at Citizens and say they are gone? They've played 11. If we look at the log standing, they've played 11 and they've lost 10 games. Only drew 1 game. Citizens, what is in there for them?
Maybe if I can touch on what is the other thing you spoke about, Tigers. You see, at this point in time, you know, when the league started, most of the clubs were really very much rusty. Yeah. So they are trying to obviously. So if you look really at the teams like Tigers, Black Africa, Young African, when the league started, these are the teams that really struggled. Yeah. But as it gets along, they have particularly Young African have also picked up maximum points, and they have moved out of the bottom of the log. So those teams, just give them time, they will really mount a big challenge, which is actually equally good for the league. We don't really want a runaway champions, you know, somehow. But give credit to Stars. But I'm quite sure, even looking at Citizens, they are in a much more precarious situation at this point in time. But we just hope and believe, because a wounded line is very dangerous. And at this point in time, Citizens is wounded. So, but looking at their personnel and maybe the problems that they have, we don't know. But going forward, I think they will have to pull themselves up and also try to. But at this point in time, it's a bit difficult to foretell anything.
Yeah, it's too early. It's too early. Too early. As much as, you know, the results are not good. I think give them maybe the benefit of the doubt, but right now it's not looking good for them.
Look, if we look at the fixtures, Citizens are playing African Stars this week.
No, they are finished.
They are finished. Let me just give you.
That's a tough one.
Let me just quickly run through the fixtures. The Tigers you were speaking about, they have Life Fighters. Life Fighters are doing very well. They have Life Fighters away. Orlando Pirates have Julino away. And African Stars Civics on Saturday, and then they have Citizens on Sunday. And in Black Africa is having Mighty Gunners home, and Okahanja United home. Those are some of the games that you speak about to look forward to. Just Citizens' chances. You are on the not cutting you, but you are last on the league. You played the first team and you've lost 10.
Yeah, you know it will be, but you know it's. In football, you can never. Sometimes you can predict, but now looking at the gap already, African Stars who's at the summit of the log, and then you play the one that is at the bottom of the log. Don't be surprised. Looking at the points now, everyone on everybody's lips and minds, it's African Stars. They are going to wallop Citizens, but don't be surprised. Probably Citizens might put up a surprise on that day.
It looks unfair on paper, even on the fixture, because look, they will have to travel first to Karasburg to play against young Brazilians, and we know Karasburg against the young Brazilians.
Citizens have to travel to
to Karasburg, and then Sunday they have to come back and play African Stars.
I also I see Civics is also playing here Saturday in Windhoek, and then Sunday they're playing in Karasburg.
Yeah, that will just put much more pressure on them. Traveling, and I mean it's quite a long distance. And then come and meet the team like formidable African Stars. So
that's what I'm saying. They are finished. I hope I eat my words though. I hope I eat my words.
So maybe we might be surprised. Maybe a draw, but you never know. But obviously African Stars at the moment in their form. Yeah, we probably, but never say never.
I want us to look at Julinho,
Orlando Pirates,
and Orlando Pirates. I don't know, Julinho. They made someone to fire himself over the weekend. I think they beat 11 Arrows 2-1. It's not an easy place to go to the coast. Then Chipanga just decided to call it quits. So they should be high in confidence. and coming up against teams like Orlando Pirates, so and then also Tigers at home. So very, very, they are in a good position if they keep again that consistency factor that we speak. If they keep that consistency against a team that failed to keep their consistency, Orlando Pirates. So I don't know what's going to happen there.
Speaking of that, it was a very big development in local football. 11 errors, the coach resigning immediately after the game. Is the pressure, how, you as a PRO of the team, does this pressure get that much that a coach can do it in that kind of way? And this is not any coach. This is Paulo Shipanga. This is one of the top
league-winning
coaches we have in the country.
Yeah, no. Talking about Waya, that's how I used to call him. Good friend of mine, in fact. Waya, the record speaks for itself. You understand? If the reports that I read through the media is true, then I wouldn't really put that to be a pressure, because sometimes coaches need to be supported by the management, and we don't know what probably happened behind the scenes and so on. But Why is a good coach, and obviously teams are lining up to get him on board. So we don't know what happened unless we bring him on board and he tells us what truly transpired. But I respect him as a coach, and it was not an easy decision. He's a good fellow. So there must be something that allowed him to jump the ship so early.
But what does this mean now for a team like Arrows, times like this?
No, Arrows, I don't know. They have to dig deeper and to see how maybe somebody in caretaker coaching position, and then see what they can do. But as things stand, it will be quite difficult.
And they're on the road. They're on the road. They play,
Tura Magic.
Tura Magic.
But all the best to them.
Yeah.
Of course, we cannot also speak of our flagship league without a feeder league.
Yeah, then maybe that's why it's here.
And our first divisions are doing the best. We here in the southern stream, the league we follow, because we are in this part of the country. We see that Nampol and Correctional, those two teams are doing. I don't know if it's because you see the southern stream, which I have a little bit of knowledge about, is a league where there are teams like DTS, Ramblers, teams there were maybe 5 teams that were expected to be running with the current top teams. So it shows you. One day, last week at the game of Black Africa, I was talking to Mr. Isaac Hamata. He was telling me, if you are in the first division, it's not as easy as it seems from far. It's not. It took them up. Apparently, it took Tura Magic 3 years to come back up. So it is that difficult there. Where you see teams that you thought they will have an easy ride. Just give us a briefing of how the two northern streams are. How is your team doing in your division?
No.
Maybe just before you get in there, I must commend you guys, especially the northern, the first stream, southern, northern, northeastern. You guys are really doing a good job, and of course the funding has increased. It's not enough, but you're really doing a good job, giving the top league a run for their money. I mean, even when we're looking at the formats or the templates of the fixtures itself for the main league, and you compare it to the southern stream or even the north, it looks beautiful, and this are the small things that matter. So I must commend you guys on that, and you are giving really the main league a run for its money. Sometimes that's why on our page you can see we are really trying to also push always results, and you guys give them, and it's good.
No, sure. No, Mr. Amada was very right. Absolutely. The first divisions, it's not easy. It's quite tough. It's quite tough. Teams are really competitive there, and the amount of work we put in terms of the players, also the management and so on. So it's quite a mammoth task for us running the clubs in the first division. So, but with the funding that we got, also not enough, but we are also going extra mile. For instance, if you can look at Touch and Go Football Club, we have sort of started with a campaign which we call I Belong, You Belong, We Belong campaign, where we can generate funds, where we are selling merchandise, like the one that you have, the one that you now have, the scarves and so on, just to generate